Hey guys, Josh here. Today we're going to be making a video on how to replace rear main seal on a Cummins. So I found lots of videos online of guys doing these, but never in the truck really. Found one on a newer truck, none on these styles and none how I'm doing it. I heard lots of mechanics, the Mopar guys, the Chrysler mechanics, and the even in my Felpro instructions on this thing, it says to drill 2 holes in it, and yes, I get that you can scratch your crank, everything. I'm going to be real careful. If it gives me trouble, we're going to have to pull off this adapter plate and do it, but I really hate to open all that up, that big seal in there and the oil pan and everything, oil pan bolts. To me, it's just going to cause more issues for leaks because you're half-ass sealing the oil pan and stuff. I'd rather pull it out and replace it right here. So we're going to go ahead and drill 2 holes in here, 180 degrees from each other, top, side, whatever you want, and see if we can pull this seal out and replace it. Alright, so I got those 2 little holes drilled and the sheet metal screws in there. What I'm going to do is take vice grips I found easiest to put against the crank here and pull, and it's starting to move that seal right here. It's out farther, and hopefully we'll pull that right out. Alright, so as you can see, the seal popped out just fine. You can see there, I'll make a time lapse of that. But yeah, it popped out good. We'll get to cleaning this up. You want to brake clean it, make it spick and span, make sure there's no groove in the crank. There's not. And we'll get to putting the new seal in. Alright guys, so to make sure that our housing in behind here is aligned before I put the new one on. I assume it is aligned, but apparently sometimes from factory they aren't. So I just want to make sure it's aligned, and you can use this metal ring to put on your crank, and this slides in and slides on everywhere just perfect, and that's what you want. You don't want them to be off. Apparently they can be off. I've watched videos 6,000 to 8,000 somewhere. I thought some guy said up to 90 or something, but anyways, this is slides right on there, and that's what you want. So we're gonna clean this all up and we'll get to putting our new seal in. Guys, so putting this on now, there's only one way to put it on. There's a thing that marks your crank rotation, but you can't, if you don't know it, you can't really tell. So anyways, this seal is in here. You only got one big side here that this is pre-installed. You got to put the big side up and taper it in. You want the solid rubber portion out and the hollow side in. I'll get the camera up here closer so you guys can see. But you see how that's hollow. That's all rubber on the outside. You want the rubber part outside. So I've got this spick and span in here, and I've cleaned out the edge of this rubber seal. I'm going to tack it once more with cloth here before I put it on, so there's no rubber on, or so no residue on here, just in case. And we'll slide this over here, and then we can slide this plastic piece off. You'll see how I do it. Alright, so once you have the lips over there, you can pull that plastic tool off, but we're going to start and give it a couple hammers there to get it past here. Alright, so as you can see, it's sticking out a bit there, sticking out a bit here. This has to go in a bit, so we're going to put our metal ring on and give it a few taps in, just gently, until this gets flush or so I don't have to worry about that end lip coming over the edge of the crank here. And then we'll pull this off, and then we can get to setting it, our depth. So, I just this will slide out of here. There we go, that ring's gone. Now you can set this on, and you want to go until this bottom's out. There's a lip on here, right there. You want to go until that bottom's out. So we'll get to doing that now. Alright guys, so we're in there now. You want your tool to fit flat all the way around. I did put a couple little dents in with the hammer, but this tool fits. I actually had to put it in the grinder and trim this because I'm not using it for alignment anymore. I'll have to get a new tool for next time. But it kept binding on the edge of the crank here a little bit, and I couldn't get an accurate reading. It kept wanting to just twist it a little bit. So I want to make sure it was dead flat. So as you can see there, that ring's on there flat all the way around. Again, there's a couple tiny little dents right here. There's one, so that's why it sticks out a tiny bit there, but it's in there if I spin the ring around. So it's like that all the way around, all the way on the top, everything. So there you go, guys and girls. That's a main seal replacement in a Cummins with a Fel Pro. There we are. We'll start up this truck to make sure it's not going to leak before we put the transmission and everything in. But there we go. Hope this video helped you. And if it did, please give me a rating and subscribe. And check out my other Nv4500 and Cummins videos. Thanks.